We are live. Hey everyone, my name is Leighsa and I'm here with my friends today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, but we are here. We're talking about a topic that it's not talked about enough. I think it's kind of increased recently, but you know what? We are here to talk about perimenopause, and it affects all women, particularly when you get to a certain age. But hey, let's not get into it. Let me introduce yourself, and then Jax, over to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Juliet, also known as Jules, and I am so happy to be here to talk about our experience. So yeah.
Excellent. Over to you.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for introducing me to your live here, Lisa. My name's Jackie, and yes, I'm looking forward to having this conversation about menopause.
Excellent. So before we dive in, and I'm literally going to interview you guys, I'm going to ask you questions about your experience. But I just want to say that, or acknowledge really, that perimenopause and menopause are two different things. I think sometimes people think they are one of the same, but actually perimenopause is the precursor, so to speak, to menopause. And you can actually be in perimenopause, like 9 or so years prior to hitting your menopause. But research actually shows that Black women and Latinas often start earlier, and they experience symptoms for far longer as well. And they experience more severe symptoms, and statistics states that they are less likely to receive the treatment that they need. So this conversation is really going to be about our experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with perimenopause. So let's jump in. I've got my questions here for you. What else I want to share? Let's just see. So let's warm up the room.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well this afternoon. We're live.
We are live. So here's something that might surprise you about perimenopause. If I'm going to ask you, at what age do you think people start their perimenopause? Women start perimenopause?
I say about 40.
About 14?
Yeah.
Jax, over to you.
I would say, I was going to say the same as Jules, but I think it might be slightly earlier, maybe around, could be as early as 30, maybe 35.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are on the money.
Depending on the situation, because if they have like any precancerous issues, then that could trigger menopause.
Well,
Put them straight
perimenopause,
into it.
we start perimenopause in mid-30s.
Yeah,
And
so yeah, 35. Yeah.
yeah, so it starts for, I sort of said around 9 years. It can start from 4 years to 9 years. You can actually be in perimenopause like up to 10 years.
Right.
Can you imagine? And the thing is as well, like so many of us are just caught off guard by it because most of the time women don't even necessarily know that they are in the perimenopause phase of their lives, And statistics states that Black women, they reach menopause about 8 to 9 months earlier on average than their counterparts, white women. So typically they start around 49, and Latina women about 2 years earlier. Yeah, crazy, right? Yeah. That I was researching that today, and I was just so surprised, and I just assumed that all women just go through menopause in the same period of time, not realizing that Black women are more likely and Latina women are more likely to start earlier. Right, let's get into it, ladies. So, are we to start by sharing? When did you kind of first realize that something was changing for you? Like, what was the initial signs for you that made you think, hang on a second, what's happening to my body?
Good question. Do you want to take that, Jules, first?
Yeah, one nice answer. I noticed about 5 years ago, during the lockdown, I was on fire, not literally, but in my work and in my job. But then I realised I started getting really forgetful. People were talking to me, and I'm like, what was I just doing? Couldn't remember people's names.
Yeah.
That was a real hard time for me, and it was a challenging time because I worked in education and I was trying to do the grades and a lot of pressure was on. So because of that, where I needed to use my brain more, I was noticing it weren't up to full
More of a struggle.
capacity. Yeah, it was more of a struggle, and yeah, it was a hard time. It was a hard time. I got through it, but yeah, it was. That's when I really noticed. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, no, I could definitely like resonate with forgetfulness. There'll be times that I would run upstairs like to go grab something. I'm like, what did I come up here for? And I'm like, wait. Oh yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's so annoying. It's just so annoying. How about you, Jax?
I would say probably the same, around 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And the experiences that I used to have was that I used to snap a lot. Like everything used to be quite irritable. And then I went from one extreme to another, really irritable and then very emotional. So yeah, that's what I was battling. And I
Yeah.
found my emotional state came out a lot more versus my irritability.
That's so interesting because typically when people think of perimenopause, you think about the hot flushes, you think about like your regular periods, but actually there's apparently 30 different symptoms of perimenopause. 30.
Wow.
But when I saw that, I was like, wow. You know, us women, we go through, we go through a lot. And I think that's the reason why so many women don't really like connect the dots in terms of the fact that they're in the phase of perimenopause, because it's just a symptom. And they think, well, my periods are frequent, they're regular, so it can't be that. And I remember getting hot flushes even just at certain points in my cycle. In my younger years, you don't necessarily associate perimenopause with just the hot flushes, you know? Anyway. So what's been the most surprising or like unexpected symptom that you've experienced during perimenopause? I know, Jackson, it's quite interesting you've mentioned like your emotions and stuff, but has there been anything, it may well not have been a long-term symptom, but anything you think to yourself,
I think for me, what I noticed is my bones used to hurt.
right.
Literally, I had bone pain. And
Your bones or your joints?
My joints, bone pain, my fingertips. I was like, I'm only meant to be in my early 50s. I feel like I'm 85. What is going on? I'm like, oh, the back, oh, the knees.
Yeah, the ailments.
Yeah, it was much, and I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
and it just came over suddenly. Yeah.
So, like, one thing I've realized, my knees. I know I've actually injured one of my knees, right? So, they were telling me that I need to put some staples in the ligaments, which I won't be doing. But I just find that my knee joints just don't feel the same. Yeah,
I get it.
You know?
Yeah.
Jax?
Yeah, I think for me, the one thing that I didn't like and what I noticed was my skin. On my face, my skin is quite flawless, but I noticed that I started to get quite dry patches in certain areas, and I wasn't experiencing that before.
Wow.
Yeah, so in the top of my forehead, at the tops of my cheeks.
Yeah.
My son suffers from eczema, and I never had it as a young child or an adult, but I knew it. As I developed my perimenopausal, as that started, I noticed there was changes in my skin.
Wow.
It's been very dry. I never used to have dry skin.
Yeah. So you definitely recognise the change.
Yeah.
When I was looking it up, it says that apparently that over 75% of women experience hot flushes, which is interesting because I remember watching Oprah and her, I can't remember her best friend's name, but Oprah had no symptoms of the menopause at all. She flew through her. She had nothing. But 75% of women experience hot flushes during perimenopause. And the thing is, white women tend to have hot flushes for around 6.5 years compared to black women who have it for like 10 years.
We have it for
10 years, experience for 10 years. And I think Latinos were around 9 years.
The thing is, with the flushes for me, they come and go. they're not something that I really suffer with. I think at the beginning they were more rife, and I noticed I used to just break out in a hot sweat. But
Yeah,
now with the kind of food that I eat, I notice that that has subsided a lot.
good. I've got a couple of questions for you around that actually, because that is a real thing, right? Our diet can definitely impact how we feel in terms of the symptoms that you get from perimenopause.
Mm,
And I
mm.
didn't even say this is perimenopause month, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, September. This is the reason why we're doing this live, because it's in celebration of perimenopause month. It also happens to be PCOS month, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, that a lot of women experience. But today it's about perimenopause, so I want to put that out there.
Okay.
Oh, lovely.
So Jax, you kind of touched a little bit earlier on like the emotional side of things.
Mm.
So have you kind of experienced like any mood changes in terms of like not recognizing yourself? Because for example, you said you could be snappy, which we can be snappy, and typically, PMS will make you snappy. But I think there were moments when even when you speak to someone, you're like, "Rah!" and you're like, that's a bit harsh. But that's just how you felt in that moment. Like, are there any moments in which you actually just didn't recognize yourself? You're like, wait, okay, I might need to have a chat.
I must admit, I'm very in tune with my body and how I'm feeling. So I really do pick up on the nuances. I know that on average, when I can be a bit shirty sometimes, but I knew that my shortness or my snappiness was a lot more often.
Yeah.
And I noticed that my emotional state was coming on a lot more often, and I felt I I think as lockdown came about, and as much as I work from home, so I love it. I really do love working from home. It's like, my safe space, it's great. But I realize it does have a detriment on your mental health, especially if you're going through perimenopause. So you need to get out, because I could easily not, I don't have to leave my house if I don't want to.
Right.
But being perimenopausal, and I think with the fact working from home and then having those mood changes, I realize that you do need a balance where you're stepping outside as well, to kind of mix that up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something that I needed to take on board.
No, that makes sense though, to be fair. And plus you need your vitamin D, Jax.
Yes, yeah. I am taking vitamin D as well, so that was really helpful. Now that I'm in the house, but I'm just saying in general. I think that me getting out the house, working from home, and I do get out of the house, but with being in England, the sun's not as strong.
Yeah.
It's just not giving you the vitamin D that you need. You need to get away on that sunshine holiday, which is just fabulous. No better than getting a bit of sunshine in your bones.
Exactly. How about you?
Yeah, I would say like Jackie, it felt like I was on my period 365.
Really?
Literally every day. I was a moody cow
Oh, wow.
all the time. And it just
Nice that, right?
yeah, I did. And it just felt like I was constantly just moody, no matter what was happening, whether it be at work, whether it be at home. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't very nice to be around.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that in itself, right? It's not the nicest, is it? Because you can't help it. It's like,
Can I ask you, Jules? So are you towards the tail end of your perimenopausal now, or where are you in the stages?
Yeah, I believe I'm coming to the end now.
do you think you're hitting menopause now?
Yes, I do. And for me, those triggers have gone. Like, I don't feel it as much. I'm not having as much hot flushes.
Okay.
But that might be to do with things that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm coming out the tail end of it.
Lucky you.
So apparently during perimenopause, when your estrogen kind of falls, actually the estrogen and progesterone levels, apparently they don't steadily decline. They actually like roller coaster, they plummet. So there's times that it can be high, times it can be low. And that's the reason why, Jax, it has an impact on your skin, your hair, the mood, our energy, and our metabolism. And I think I've always had quite a fast metabolism anyway, but I guess what I noticed was the extra kind of like stomach fat, so to speak, you know. And I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting. And that's kind of, you know, you see your body changes, obviously, but that was kind of something that I kind of noticed. I thought, I don't remember seeing like the extra weight around that space.
I've got it in abundance. It's just sometimes it just feels like it's never ever gonna shift. You know what I mean? Like but you know what? I'm not letting that stop me. I am just, to combat that, and I'm sure you're gonna get to it. Just try and do a bit more walking and do a bit more exercising, lifting weights to help with the muscle mass.
Yeah. Excuse me, ladies. Whilst I've got a cold, I feel as though I'm literally just dehydrated by the second. I've just put some beeswax on my lips. It's beeswax and olive oil on my lips. So
lovely.
Anyway, so in addition to the skin, the hair, the mood, the energy, the metabolism changes that we experience, we also experience, 60% of women experience sleep challenges, struggle with ability to sleep or broken sleep. And I think that's definitely something that my mum's actually spoken about as she's in her menopausal phase, is that she will just wake up randomly at like 3, 4 in the morning. So you're not having that full 7, 8 hours sleep. All right, my next question for you guys. What's something you wish someone had told you about perimenopause before you both started experiencing it? And I say both, as I say, I'm experiencing it too. I'm definitely experiencing it in terms of, I don't get a lot of hot flushes, but that's because of what I put into my body. But when I do, I know it's typically because I've not slept at night. I could have drunk alcohol. And it's around those times that I will experience a flush. But just answer the question. What's something you wish that someone had told you about perimenopause before you got to that stage?
I would say, I wish someone had told me I would have to hold back on the alcohol. I'm not even joking, because when I have a glass of wine, oh my gosh, it's like someone's turned the radiators on full blast. And I did like my alcohol, but now I've had to cut back.
Oh, it's a good way to cut back then, right?
Yeah, so if someone had warned me, I could have slowed down the drinking.
How about you, Jax?
I think that, I wish that our elders would have kind of given us an insight to what to expect. I think there's a journey and a pattern of life where we kind of grow up, we go to college, university, we're living our best life in our 20s and 30s, but then they forget to tell us that there's this big, as you become an adult and used to have your kids and everything, there's going to be a shift in your life where you experience this ambiguity, should I say, and it's just kind of this a wave of emotions that can be unexplainable at times, and that it puts you through this emotional and frustration roller coaster, and it hits all parts of your body and your senses. I think it happens. Some people say, like, for example, you referred back to Oprah, that she didn't experience anything. Unless she's superhuman. Some people do don't experience anything. But for me, I just think that sometimes if someone said to me, or someone elder said to me, actually, when you get to about, as a black woman, maybe you might experience some kind of perimenopausal symptoms. These are the things that you need to look out for. It's not limited to, but these are the things that might happen to you. So look out for them. Just each one teach one.
Yeah, no, I agree. So you can prepare for it, right? And I often feel that, and I've spoken to my mum about this. I don't know why, but the older generation, the women didn't speak much about anything. My mum wasn't advised beforehand about periods. I think she just woke up one day and thought she was hemorrhaging. And so I don't get the impression that, my mum's mum passed in quite her younger years, but just generally speaking, in the black community, I don't feel that the grandparents pass much of that information down to younger girls,
Yeah.
There's so many women who, I'm quite fortunate, my parents are amazing, and they, we celebrated when I had my first period, and I knew all about it and I knew what to expect. But, again, with perimenopause, menopause, I don't know of any conversations. They just all went through it silently. You know, I don't remember seeing my grandma go through it. You know, I was quite young, but yeah.
I just think with my mum, I think because she had 4 girls, she didn't have a time to think about what she was going through. She's just going through it. But at the same time, looking back now that I'm older and we have conversations about stuff, she says, oh, that's normal, that's what you go through, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? But she doesn't make it a big thing. But I think it's a more of a discussion point, especially for our younger, you know, audience that might be listening today, and just be thinking to themselves, you know what, actually I'm feeling a little bit off, and I'm kind of feeling a bit, you know, I don't know what's wrong with me. And it might not be just the fact that you're not getting enough vitamin D or enough sleep at night. It might be just a little bit more than that. So yeah, just check it out with your GP or do the research online and just see what else they can do for you. I just think there's more of a bigger conversation that we could be having, and not trying to hide it as a stigma, so to speak. Yeah, that's my thought.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And for anyone who thinks they're going through perimenopause or hitting the menopausal stage, you can go to your GP, you can have a blood test done, and they can tell you whether or not you are in the menopausal stage of your life. So, you know, you don't have to guess your way through it, and we don't actually have to kind of work our way through other people's experiences. You can just, you know, go to your GP, have a blood test, and he or she will tell you whether you're there or not. Okay, so we've shared our experiences. Thank you, ladies, for your honesty. And I know we've shared some stuff that's been pretty tough and stuff, but the good news is there are people that have tried and tested things, and there's things that work, and no 2 women are the same. You know, we have different symptoms and different experiences of our symptoms. But let's now talk about the solutions. All right? So what have you tried and tested so far? And what's actually worked for you? So Jax, over to you.
One thing I think has really worked for me is upping my protein, and also pounded yams. So any kind of puno yam, Nigerian yam, has been worked so well for me. Eliminating a lot of meat out of my diet. Not that I eat a lot of it anyway, but just eliminating meat, or if I do buy meat, it has to be really organic, really good meat. And organic chicken, just not the farmed, you know, it's just no good for you. Also frying certain oils, just maybe introducing a Mediterranean diet versus the fried food, the chicken, you know, just eating out all the time. Just really eating from home, a home cooked meal. Yeah, that's what's really worked well for me, and those are the biggest changes that I've seen.
That's some great advice as well. So yam is definitely, like, wild yam is definitely one of the things that has been bouncing around the markets. There's wild yam creams and things out there, and I've actually, as you both know, I've got my skincare brand, so I've been testing body butters with yam powder in it, and I've actually got a 10x yam powder that I've been kind of testing at the moment. But
Leighsa, are you going to link your skincare brand in the video today?
Absolutely.
So we can shop your website. It's fantastic, guys. It's so great. Please visit Leighsa Marie Skincare. She's got some. I've just tried and tested. I've tried it myself. The everything is fantastic in the range. I'm just a shameless plug for you, Leighsa. I'd just like to plug you. I just love your body scrub. It's fantastic. It's gorgeous. It smells beautiful, and the creams works really well, especially around your tummy area. I just love it. It's fantastic. So, you know, and it's clean. That's what I really like about it. No additives, no it's just clean product. So yeah, you're doing fantastic. Please shop my friend Leighsa. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I promise, guys, I haven't paid her for that.
But yeah, doesn't matter if you paid me, it's fine. I'm good, but you haven't though. I'm here as a friend.
But just to add on what you were saying, Jackson, about the oils and things that you're using, absolutely. In terms of seed oils, if you can avoid them, definitely I'd say to do that, because frying products and things is that it causes the symptoms just to exacerbate. Like, you are going to have way more hot flushes again if you introduce too many sugars and things into your diet as well. But Let's go over to you, Jules.
Well, I would say the same as Jackie. I have limited my meat intake because the symptoms that I was having was just too much.
Yeah.
So I cut out meat out of my diet for a few months, and the joint pain, the pain in my fingers have gone. I've also introduced obviously more fruit and veg. It goes without saying. I don't have any dairy. I try to limit it. I try to limit dairy, have alternative milks, if I'm going to have cheese, if I feel for it, I'll have an alternative, because I just felt like it was so important that my diet was the way in. Absolutely. I just think it's just, I just feel much better now for myself. Everybody's different, as you said. But definitely for me, cutting back on meat. Definitely. And oily foods and alcohol. Just kind of a style change. Just
all the things that we love there, Jules, but we shouldn't be having. But in moderation.
Exactly. I mean, I've got a sweet tooth, I'm not gonna lie, and you know, any chance, apple crumb, I'm there. But I've had that back on that as well.
But that's the thing, though, right? I feel as though we have to make the right lifestyle changes. And as you both know, I've been plant-based for like 10 plus years, but recently, in the last, I'd say 4 months, I've introduced fish into my diet because for me, plant-based diet is the way forward, but you have to eat a balanced diet.
That's right.
And I was getting lazy and trying to prepare quick meals, and I wasn't eating my balance, and I wasn't supplementing, and I experienced, you know, like my hair was thinner. I just noticed things in my body just wasn't quite right. So I decided to do a pescatarian diet over the last few months, and I'm not on it a lot, but you know, I've added it to the diet, so to speak. But it's like you say, I think things in moderation. I think if you're going to go completely to left, right, or right, whichever side you choose, and just go from 0 to hero, that's going to be hard to sustain and maintain. So I think, you know, definitely, you know, reduce your fried foods, as I mentioned, and just introduce things slowly so that you can actually continue doing it. And have a treat day. I feel like there's nothing wrong with having a treat day, but just be prepared that you might find symptoms of menopause are gonna, you know, kick in. But no, I don't do dairy. I try to do inflammatory food. So dairy is one of the inflammatory foods. I learned that like in my early day when I used to develop ovarian cysts, and I actually went for Chinese therapy. And the consultant said to me, dairy is not for human consumption. You shouldn't consume dairy. I was like, oh. And then when I stopped eating dairy, I wasn't having the ailments and issues that I was experiencing back then. But yeah, I think definitely make adjustments to your diet, but overall your lifestyle, you've got to be hydrated, you've got to be drinking plenty of water, you need to be exercising, you've got to be resting, sleeping, and taking, we spoke about oils, but omega oils are amazing. Absolutely. You know, antioxidants. Anyway, you're gonna take off on a tangent. Let's stick to the questions. Right. Okay. Cool. So yeah, as I mentioned, lifestyle. Tell us something that was like a game changer for you in terms of your lifestyle change. I know you just mentioned your diet, but was there anything else? Jackson kind of spoke about kind of going out, trying to make an effort to kind of get out in the sun. But is there anything else that you'd like to share, just in terms of anything else you might have done from a lifestyle change perspective?
I don't think I've not done anything more. I think for me, it was mostly about diet. But one thing that I've started to do now is to work out more, getting my exercise. I definitely go for walks because I think that's really important. But as we're getting younger,
that's it.
I think going to the gym, and I know the gym is not for everybody. I mean, the gym has been taking my money each month. Where have I been?
Ding, 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 ding.
No, so I've had to change that. So what I've started doing is sometimes I'll be in the kitchen and I'll literally do a stretch or some squats while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. Or swings or whatever I can do to just keep moving, to use the time. And so if I don't make it to the gym, I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
You mentioned a good point there, because we often speak about not having the time to kind of work out, so I keep dropping out of shot. But the things that I like to do is if I'm brushing my teeth, I'll do some leg raises.
Yeah.
Once I've gone to the toilet, I'll do some squats. So if you think about the amount of time you brush your teeth twice a day, you go to the toilet, I don't know, several times a day, that's great exercise that you're implementing. And one other thing is really good is rebounding, which is like a little mini trampoline, But if you don't have a rebounder, you can literally just jump on the spot, bearing in mind, make sure you've got the right shoes on. But to kind of jump on the spot, give your body a shake, I'm telling you, it literally gets the air into your body. And often it's stagnation that we have a challenge with in terms of when we develop, you know, lumps and bumps and whatnot in the body. It's just stagnation. And just by just jumping on the spot and just letting your body jump, you know, move around freely, it's really, really good. Gets your heart going, gets your breathing going. It's fantastic. And
you know what? It sounds good. I just got to make sure I got the right bra.
Yeah, you don't need to do that with the wrong bra. Oh, good God. Yeah.
Absolutely.
How about you, Jack?
Well, for me, I think definitely like what Jules said, more movement, getting out into, you know, just even going walking around my local park, you know, just getting up a little bit earlier. I've downloaded this app called Body by Cara. It's really hard, but she's really, really good. She's got quite a few what do you call them, fitness experts on there, PT trainers, and you just go through. It's easy, just a 45-minute session. You do as much as you lift as heavy or as light as you want. And then like Jules, I do kind of keep the lights on at the gym, and they keep taking my direct debit, and I never go. But you know, I say to myself, do you know what? It's there because, you know, if I really do need that time out and go to the gym, I've got it. I've got options. That's another thing. I think that, you know, yes, we can do all these little exercises when we're at home, but you know, if you're a person that's home and you've got the kids and you've got, you know, maybe 3 kids, they're quite young, you might be able to just maybe take them to the park and just maybe walk, you know, play with them in the park, get some exercise that way. Alternatively, if you've got one child that's older, you can leave them at home looking after the kids. You can take yourself off to the gym for 45 minutes just to kind of get yourself some exercise that way. So, but there's many options. I mean, the positive intent is always there, but the body, I always say the intent is there, but the body can be sometimes unwilling. So, yeah, so it's just to kind of be, and also to be kind to myself. Sometimes I can be a bit tough. Yeah, and I just say to myself, okay, if I haven't moved today, what are you going to do tomorrow? That doesn't cancel out, you know, if I didn't move this morning, it doesn't mean I haven't got the rest of the afternoon to do something. So as long as I get a 30-minute walk in, I'm good.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, I forgot to mention as well, one thing I love doing is an early morning walk. So I like to just go out and just speak to God and pray. And I'll tell you what, there's something magical about just being out when no one's out at that point, and it's just the birds singing, and it's just, it's beautiful. I love it.
Oh, fantastic. That sounds awesome.
Love it. Okay, so we're going to talk about medical and natural solutions now. So you probably know about HRT. You've heard of HRT. Yeah. Let's talk about that. What's been your experience in terms of navigating, you know, medicines and things? Sorry, my nose is running. Medicines and things from like from the healthcare providers. I haven't, to be honest. I've heard about HRT. I've had a discussion about HRT. And I won't put a family member's business out there, but one of my family members, they are on it. They say it works really well for them. I really want to go down to I want to kind of tackle the natural, holistic route. For me, I feel like this is something that our body, and not to give too much information, but when I came off the pill many years ago, because my body just was not, I didn't feel well taking the contraception, and so because of that, I've been probably off that for over 30 years. So for me, I feel that going through this perimenopausal phase is a natural thing, and I don't, if it got to a point where I really needed it, I would obviously consult my doctor and maybe revisit the HRT, because I've heard great stuff about it. But for me right now, in this moment, no, I'm very natural. Yeah, no, I love that.
I get that. At the time when I was going through my symptoms, I had other things. other health conditions going on, and I tried to do it naturally, but I think I just didn't have enough information.
Yeah.
So I did try it. I, sought help from my doctor, and they actually, my doctor was actually really good, and he actually convinced me to give it a go, and I did the HRT patches, and it felt like someone was branding me. Yeah, I had a burning sensation, at the top of my leg.
So the patch you stuck
it
in your
looks like
skin on your thigh.
it's like a see-through plaster.
Yeah.
But there was a burning sensation, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
So I then transferred to the gel and the tablets. I was really good with the gel. I liked the gel, but the tablets, I just could never remember to take them.
So the gel was in the forearms.
So you could rub it, same thing, top of your legs, and on your arms.
Yeah.
And again, I was using that. I think I needed it at the time because I was fully, having so many different symptoms.
Wow.
But then what happens after a while, there's been a big push on perimenopause and menopause, and I think I got, having more education, I was realised, is this really right for me long term? So then I started to transition to a more natural way, and I feel that it's working for me right now. It worked at the time, I think, when I needed it. It done what it did. It quelled the hot flushes, the mood swings, the brain fog, all of those went. All those symptoms went. And then when I got to that position where I felt, I'm good, that's when I decided to make a natural transition to going natural. Yeah.
So what are you doing naturally?
So now I'm not doing anything except for your products. And my food. And literally, I have decided to just think about my food, what's going inside my body, a lot more than I did before, because I didn't used to eat really well before. Lots of takeouts, lots of processed food. So now I cook more healthy, wholesome meals. And I've been using your products. So yes, that works for me. Yeah.
And for those that don't know, so I know Jackie touched on it earlier, I do have a skincare brand. And this skincare brand was born out of my challenges of having infertility and hormone imbalance. And hormones are super important, as many women will know who's experiencing perimenopause as well. Your hormones controls your mind function, how you feel, your mood, everything. All right. So I was struggling to conceive, and I was trying to find clean, natural skincare products that I could use as an alternative to those that had synthetic perfumes in them and parabens and like preservatives and toxic ingredients in them. And it just so happens that my bestseller, which is the geranium and clary sage body butter, which is infused with geranium essential oil, clary sage essential oil, and lavender, these are like 3 powerhouse essential oils for supporting the balance of your hormones. And so I just decided to use all 3 of them, and in all honesty, I actually created that formulation for women trying to conceive. And it just so happens, it was family members who were in their perimenopausal and menopausal stages that said, oh, well, I'll try it, and I just want it for my skin. And then they started sharing that it was actually helping with their hot flushes. I was really quite surprised, but that wasn't ever the intent. But I started showing it far and wide, and people, it's not a miracle cream. You can't use it one day and not have a hot flush. You have to use it like a couple of weeks in, and then you'll find that actually it prevents you from having the hot flushes. And so, that's the reason why I'm super happy that it helps women who are perimenopausal and menopausal.
Well, it definitely helps me. Honestly, I use it every day. When I'm getting to the bottom of the jar, I'm like, oh, Leighsa, I need to have. And I do notice, I think there's only one time I didn't have it, and I didn't use it for about 2 weeks, and I started to notice it. So you have to be consistent. Like most things, after about 3 weeks, it becomes habit. So I use it, and it just makes your skin feel amazing. And all of those things are gone. I don't even remember the last time I've had a hot flush. And all jokes aside, even my family that have used it, people tend to notice the impact of it once they've stopped using it, because at the time, anyhow.
Let us keep moving on. Let us keep moving on. So, where are we? Apparently, 26% of studies show that Black women are 26% less likely to be prescribed hormone therapy, than white women. And I think, even obviously they're experiencing the same symptoms, I think there's just something about Black women who just want to just soldier through and, you know, try and do it all by themselves. But it's an interesting statistic. So now I am curious. I'd love you to continue with your honesty. In terms of herbs, are you guys into teas, herbs? Have you tried anything, you know, to support this process of perimenopausal symptoms?
I have actually. I've been drinking things like breadfruit tea, breadfruit leaf tea, soursop leaf tea, and that just soursop leaf tea is just another one, a miracle. I just love it. It's one of my best teas. I also drink hibiscus tea. I also incorporated, just to help with the anti-inflammatory, ground ginger, but also fresh sometimes, and in addition to that, nutmeg. Um, so yeah, and cinnamon. Cinnamon is
Yeah,
my other thing. That's my go-to. Yeah, that, and sometimes cloves. And another thing that I absolutely love and adore, which really, really helps, is hibiscus tea. And in the Caribbean, they call it sorrel.
yeah.
So yeah, I use those. I've got a combination of those that I kind of use at the moment. Another thing that sometimes at the beginning stages of my hormone, my perimenopausal journey, I started to have turmeric tea. Now, with turmeric tea, to have that, you can incorporate, you can either just get the powder, put it in some hot water, just add a bit of black pepper, and that will then distribute through the body quite easily.
Yeah,
And some in Indian culture, they do like to make it as a milky tea. So you have options. So, you know, if you do not want to have it with hot water, you could always introduce a bit of milk to it. And that could be oat milk, whatever milk you like. Yeah, those are the things that I've kind of incorporated at the moment.
I love that, Jax. You are like on the money, honestly. A lot of the herbs that you mentioned are so good.
Yeah.
A lot of anti-inflammatory options that you mentioned there, but also, oh my God, this cold is getting on my nerves. But also, just a lot of those herbs are actually supportive for your guts and hormone balance. So how about you?
Yeah, like Jackie, I might not do as much, but I do love hibiscus, sorrel in tea, in anything, including alcohol.
Yes, with little white rum.
You know, a sorrel
Mm.
is lovely tea. I drink, excuse me, ginger tea. Also, since I've gone to Jamaica, I've been having more herbal teas because they love their herbal teas, lemongrass
Yeah.
and peppermint. And sometimes sometimes I like it natural, sometimes the tea bag. I know the tea bag is not as good, but just having the natural herbs, I think, is really, really good. And I've started to do that of late because just getting away from tea and coffee, traditional tea and coffee,
100%.
and herbal, it's made a difference, definitely. And I enjoy them.
No, I love a tea. I've got my little glass teapots. I just feel so special when I use them. But just a couple of the teas or herbs that I want to mention to you that are which are really good for, you know, preventing the hot flushes. Red clover is fantastic, and these are all herbs that are easy to get. And I know hibiscus and things, you know, hibiscus, soursop tea, breadfruit leaf tea. They're not going to necessarily be easy to get hold of because they're from the Caribbean. But things like red clover, chamomile is easy to get. Nettle tea is phenomenal. For women who are, even if you have like cycles that are quite heavy and things, nettle tea is a great tea. Black cohosh is also really good. Take sage is amazing. Sage is really, really good. There's a whole I could probably provide a whole list of different teas that you can use, and it's great to blend them. I think if you don't really know what you're doing, if you're not a herbalist, then obviously, you know, don't just throw things together. Things you know need to go together in a certain way. But I think if you're going to have them individually, that's not a problem. I think for most of the teas, you could probably have 2 to 3 cups a day. But what I would say is I personally don't think you should take anything in abundance. So herbs are medicine. As the herbs is a medicine. And I think so I would do 4 weeks maximum. Give yourself a break, see how your body feels, because it doesn't necessarily need that particular herb for longevity. And what you might also find is that you might want to try something else.
Yeah.
Don't want for your body to become immune to it as well.
Absolutely.
But I definitely don't think, because I think also as well, when you start introducing things into your body for long periods of time, your body becomes dependent on it. And
Yeah.
supposed to be able to extract or generate things itself, it becomes lazy because you're going to always provide it every day.
That's true.
So yeah, that's my little tip.
Oh, sounds good.
All right, so we are coming to a close, ladies. We are coming to a close. I guess my by the way, I just want to say this has been so helpful. Like, hearing from you guys has been so helpful. Like, I think, as Jackie mentioned earlier, each one teach one. Our experiences, you know, are our experiences, but they're always going to be helpful to someone else. Sometimes people don't even realize that they go through something too. So my last question to you is, what advice would you give to someone who's just started to experience perimenopause symptoms? And maybe give you two parts. What do you, what would you tell your younger self, maybe, or a friend who's just beginning on that journey? I might just start this actually, this question. So the question was two-part. What advice would you give to someone who's experiencing perimenopause, and what would you tell your younger self? And I think for me, I would definitely say to myself to really stop and think about what I'm feeling, because I think too often we're on the go, we're doing things, and there's times when I've just been fatigued, I've just pushed through. And actually, you know, fatigue is one of the symptoms of perimenopause. And so it's your body's way of saying, I need time out, you know, and we don't take time out. And I think also the other thing is, whereas I've always been pretty good around eating a healthy diet or balanced diet typically, I don't overconsume in, you know, alcohol, sugars and things like that. But one area that I've always required improvement in is sleep. And sleep makes such a considerable difference how your body performs. And when I say that, I don't mean sleep as in getting 8 hours sleep from 1 a.m. through to like 9 a.m. Like, that's not what I mean. Like, going to sleep at like 10 p.m. before the moon comes. Well, no, actually, the moon comes up quite early, doesn't it? But like, going to sleep before midnight, basically, and getting my 8 hours from there. Because I think there's been times where I wanted to kind of push through and just do some work and things. I just quickly just knock it out. You get to midnight, you get to 1 a.m. in the morning, and then you go to bed. But actually, it makes far more sense. And I find that I'm far quicker if I was just to go to bed at 10, wake up even at, you know, 5, you know, and then do what I need to do versus trying to push and do it at the latter part of the evening. So that would be one of my tips.
I would totally agree with you. I used to have lots of puss naps, cat naps, fall asleep, and I'm up all night. And like you said, getting into a good routine, limiting the phone before sleeping, reading if you're a person that can't go to sleep straight away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reading the Bible, reading a good book. I've just found that, and I've just made a conscious effort to come off of the sofa. Bad habits have an impact.
Yeah, falling asleep on the sofa, then waking up and then going to bed. Absolutely.
It just has not only like physically, my back, my joints, but also just your routine. And I find I'm just so much more productive by having a good night's sleep. Yeah. I get more done. I get up earlier and I have the day, and you just keep going. It's a bit like Duracell batteries. I would definitely say, for me, is to have the conversation. Don't feel that you're alone. Have the conversation with your family members, with your friends. And more importantly, if you're in work, if you're working for someone and you have a supportive colleague or line manager, speak to them about it. Yeah. Speak about what you're going through, because we know that other life things get in the way. Yeah. You know, you've got to navigate work, you've got to navigate home, you've got a lot of things going on. And when your body is changing, you know, you may be a caregiver. Whatever your situation, talk to that person. And like you said, if I had known, I would have just gone to the doctor and just say, and just spoke to them about what I was going through rather than guesstimating what's happening to my body.
Yeah.
And then from there, do your research, because there's so much out there now.
There is.
There wasn't before. You know, it's just amazing. Like, there are women in Japan who don't even experience menopause. They don't experience it. So do your research. If I'd known, I'd have done my research or been educated, and just find out if your workplace has got a policy on menopause, because I think it's needed.
Yeah.
You know, all women are going to go through this, whether they like it or not. So yeah, that's my advice.
So agree with you, Jules. Absolutely. And just you touched on just the point about communicating. I think it's so important because I've spoken to somebody recently and heard conversations that they relay the conversation to me about discussions they've had with men and their wives are just literally they don't know how to communicate with them. They don't know how to speak to them. They're like, my wife has just turned into I love her to bits, but I just can't connect with her right now. And it's actually quite sad, you know, and I think it's important for us to bring our partners on the journey.
Absolutely.
You know, rather than leaving it to the guesswork, bring them on the journey, let them know how we're feeling so they can actually understand, because otherwise they're not going to understand what we're going through.
Yeah, so true, so true.
Over to you, Jackster.
I would say I echo both of your sentiments, absolutely 1,000%, especially in the workplace. I actually work as the mental health first aider in my workplace. So I'm one of the go-to people that people come to, and you don't really hear a lot of young people don't speak up, and definitely not a lot of older people. So yeah, but there should, you know, in the workplace, we do raise awareness around it, which is fantastic. The other thing that I would say is that when you've started noticing the change, you're not alone.
Yes.
You're not alone. And like we've said, in some cultures, they do never experience anything. So do your research, find out what works well for them. I find that when you're in China and Japanese cultures, they tend, if you look at all the older women, they are always outdoors. They're never stuck indoors. And if you realise it, I think more for the Western society, we are always stuck in the home. And also the weather doesn't help.
Yeah.
You know, we do live in a much more of a cooler climate. So it's really important that, you know, if you can get out to your groups, your social groups, interact with people in open spaces, maybe go to a library or something, join a fitness class, just to kind of keep that mood elevated. You can't do it all the time, because sometimes you'll do it and you still feel a bit down, but you know, then you've got options to look at other things that might be able to help you. But definitely do not think that you're on your own. I think when you do start speaking, you might be surprised about what your peers are going through, and actually they might be able to offer a solution.
Yeah. Ladies, I love that. Such great just nuggets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think before we wrap up, that's an important reminder for everyone. You are not on your own, ladies. You're not on your own. And just find a community of women that you can speak to. If you don't have any females in your family, find at work, whoever it is that you can speak to. Like, there's something powerful about women coming together and just sharing. You know, it's therapeutic. I agree. And get support, get the help that you need. I'm an advocate for, you know, natural products and things, but you know, I wouldn't tell anyone not to do anything anyway. But you know, that you need to go for HRT, anything like that, speak to your GP, get what you need. And if not, and you're willing to try something natural, we've touched on quite a few things this afternoon that you can do in terms of supporting your I'm gonna forget now, supporting your symptoms. But I would like to know definitely from you know, our audiences, if there was a perimenopausal tea, and there are products out there, but if you were interested in teas that will help your perimenopausal symptoms, I would love to know more about that. The reason being, it's one of the things I'm thinking of adding to the Leighsa Marie brand.
Great.
We've been trialing and testing some products for not only for women who are having fertility challenges or having just issues with their monthly cycle, but we've also got a tea blend for the menopause to kind of support the hot flushes. And remember, I mentioned my geranium and clary sage body butter. All of my ingredients are all the oils and butters that I use are natural. I even use violet glass that helps with the preservation of the products. So I'd love you to try my products out. My website is leighsamarie.com. Hopefully you can see this. So Leighsa spelled Leghsa, Marie Mari. Find us, please sign up to the newsletter, and we will definitely make sure that we send you some great information as well as some offers. So I think, well, that's one of my questions. I have no more for you except to say, ladies, thank you so much. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for just being, just honest and just sharing with our audiences, just where you are, how you're feeling, your tips, what you recommend. How can people contact you if they want to get in touch? Is there anything you want to share with anyone, with the audience, ladies? The floor's here.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Leighsa. It's been so lovely speaking to you and Jackie, and it's really helped me to just kind of take stock of what I've been through the last few years, never mind months. If anybody is having trouble navigating work, their health, you can come and speak to me. I'm at juliet@workhope.co.uk. Also, _workhope on Instagram.
Excellent. How about you, Jackson? Is there anything you want to share?
I want to first of all thank you for both you and Jules for inviting me onto this wonderful platform. I really appreciate it. I'm not plugging anything at the moment, but I'm working on a few things. So just watch this space. But at the same time, I'd just like to kind of pick up on something that Jules said. Everything that she shared today is something that I experienced myself. Whether it be the hot flushes, whether it would be the mood swings, it just resonated to me that actually we're more alike than we are very different. Do you know what I mean? And I think that, the thing is, when you are introducing healthy tips and healthy solutions, that it does alleviate some of the symptoms and it does work. So, with that said, and you're sharing your experience as well there, Leighsa, it just made me realise, right, you're on the right track. And I think more of these conversations need to be had, not just in a month of perimenopausal month. I think we should be raising it everything, we should be shouting it from the rooftops. And as much as especially for our black women and our black and brown people, and especially for people that may be going through a cancerous journey that actually throws them into the menopause situation. They've got no choice in that matter, it just happens. These people need that support. So I think there's a bigger conversation that we could be having, and a little bit more often. So thank you for allowing me to come onto the platform, and I hope someone out there has found this conversation authentic and really taken something away from it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, ladies. Listen, I'm going to take myself in this cold elsewhere. I literally feel as though my eyes are welling up. I'm not crying, I'm emotional. I can barely see because my cold's getting better with me. But no, pleasure, ladies. Thank you so much. And I think, Jackson, you're absolutely right. We should jump back on, provide an update, and just check in with our communities to see how they're doing, and just share anything new that we've got to share. Who knows? Maybe my wild yam cream will be ready for purchase by then.
I love it. More to the range, more for me.
More for the range. All right, well, on that note, thank you both. God bless you, and speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.